Here's everything I made for dinner tonight. I always like to start the week off right with a special meal. So I started off by charring some jalapenos for the hummus, then I combined my cooked chickpeas along with garlic and the roasted jalapenos, and once that just started to become smooth, I went in with tahini and fresh lemon juice. Then I blended in some olive oil and ice cubes to keep the hummus nice and fluffy. Next, I worked on my lamb kofta, so I do some shallots and garlic. I decided to add some harissa to this as well, then a bunch of parsley and fresh mint, then some spices like cinnamon, cumin, and cardamom. I mix that together, then shape my kofta, and I'll let those rest in the fridge while I make the chermoula. I make mine with parsley, cilantro, mint, some jalapeno, lemon zest and juice, paprika, cumin, saffron, and olive oil. I'm also doing a salmon dish because I like to have a variety of proteins. So for the sauce, I peeled and grated a tomato, then sliced up a chili, a bunch of fresh herbs, then my preserved lemons, which really make the sauce, and I'll let that sit in the fridge while I work on the pilaf. So for that, I cooked down some shallots and garlic in some butter and olive oil, then added in ground cinnamon and cardamom. I lightly toasted my basmati rice, then went in with chicken stock and a bay leaf, and once that was about halfway cooked, I added some dates and apricots. I let that continue to cook until the rice was done, then I finished it with some toasted almonds and pistachios. Next, I cooked off the lamb, then I seared the salmon to get the skin nice and crispy, and I'll let that finish cooking in the oven. While the proteins were cooking, I made a batch of my bubbly and crispy flatbread. This pairs perfectly with the whole meal itself, but especially with the charred jalapeno hummus. Once dinner was almost done, I made a quick salad with cucumbers and these beautiful heirloom tomatoes. I made a za'atar and feta dressing, then I finished the salad with some Castelbeltrano olives, radish, and chives. Here I'm just finishing the lamb dish with some fresh herbs, and for the salmon, I made a simple lemon yogurt to go on the side and finished it with an Aleppo pepper oil. And that is everything I made for dinner to begin the week, and for dessert, it was just a simple and refreshing plate of seasonal fruit.